The Dyson Sphere's construction continues, and we have two fresh supply problems. The first, you guessed it, processors. The second, and this is a weird one, graphene. Hello, Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm baffled. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program in our Alpha Andromedae series. So we are standing here watching these guns fire countless solar sails into orbit. And we didn't actually look at the Dyson Sphere last episode, but the new stage of the frame is really coming along quite well. So before we leave for Zeta Ra, which we certainly will, let's go ahead and give the order to fill in some of these frames, which are complete. Now, as has been pointed out, and I completely agree, one of the interesting kind of dilemmas that I face at the moment, it's not really a dilemma, it's a shortage of a different manner. And it's kind of the reason that I started off the episode where I did. We need more guns. We're like Neo in the first Matrix film. We just need guns. Lots of guns. And right now we don't have enough. Now, obviously, we're not done proliferating the solar sails, and that will help, but we're going to add even more on top of that. Before I do any of that, though, I have got to figure out what is going on with processors and graphene. So, having said that, let me take a look at my inventory and see if there's anything that I can produce that would make my life, generally speaking, easier and more ripe with contentment. I doubt it, but it's possible. Where in the actual heck, though, are my... Did I already... Wow. I remember we do need to automate the production of plane smelters. Because I remember building a bunch of plane smelters, and it seems like they're just gone. Like, I physically don't have them anymore. So, I need to automate them at this point. And I kind of need to automate them now. But I don't... hang on. I think I might have what I need to at least get some going, because I've got some numbers, as I said that I would. I've got some numbers about, you know, processors on Zeta Ra. So we're not going to go and, like, do a bunch of different, like, experimentations like we did before. I know exactly how many I want to produce per minute. We're going to send some proliferator paint that way as well. See, yeah, because we don't have graphene. All right, you know what? No. No. See, we're not even producing the things we need for me to make a bunch of the plane smelters here. So, if that's the way it is, we have got to figure out what's going on with our graphene. Now, we should have copious amounts of it. But, let's see. I guess the best way to find out would be if I were to select graphene as, like, a 2-star resource. There we go. So this is in the Gacrux system. We're obviously producing a good bit of it, but consuming more. So I think that production is happening on the outer planet, and I kind of want to go see what's going on there. All right, so Alpha Andromeda is producing some. It seems like it's gone down a lot relative to what we were producing. Zeta Ra is not producing any. Kippa Borealis is not producing any. Leonis Minoris is not producing any. Okay, so maybe... And the Alrami system is consuming a good bit of it. So yeah, I suppose the very first stop I need to make would be Gacrux 5. Gacrux 5, where are you? Where are you, my friend? There you are. Let's head out there, because I believe this is where we are producing copious amounts of this particular resource. Did I just warp past it? I look away for 3 seconds, because I realized my mic audio was quiet. Not in a way you would have heard. It was my headset. Every now and then I'll turn my headset down in another game, and then I'll like come back to it a day later. Warp has gotten faster while I haven't been looking, I swear to God. I'll come back to it a day later. And like I won't remember that I turned my headset down because I keep it at a certain volume and I really try not to mess with it. But every now and then, like I'm trying to focus on saying something or whatever it is, and like I need to tweak my headset volume, and so I'll change it using the actual knob. And then it's like I'm recording something else and I can't hear myself anymore. It's like, well, this isn't working. So then I go to change it while I'm warping towards a planet, which is only 8 astronomical units away, and I'm warping. And I miss it. Like, just sail right by. Alright. Graphene production. Ah. That's the problem. We are full up on hydrogen here. Well. How we actually do it on that? Looks like we can stand to output a good bit more, so why don't we go ahead and just let the floodgates open a little bit. And as a matter of fact, we can do better than that. Let's double the output so that this tower starts to empty out. And if this tower starts to empty out, then we'll start producing graphene in much higher quantities here. Now, actually, if we look on the local planet, see? So that's a huge increase. It was just clogged up. That's all it was. So I think what I probably need to do, just to be safe here, I mean, this is a very temporary thing. I'm just emptying this thing out, but we need to have some secondary storage here. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete a few lines here, and then we're going to place down... There we go. Might as well go ahead and build them all the way up. Well, that's an easier solution than I thought. I was just so baffled because it's one resource that has never been a problem. So it's fascinating to me that suddenly it's now an issue. It's interesting though, I mean, hydrogen is just being guzzled from this planet. So in some ways, this storage that I had set up when I first built this whole thing it's just not necessary. And it looks like I'm consuming some graphene here. So it's probably worthwhile to go ahead and slow that down a little bit. I didn't have to actually delete those. But what that should allow... Yeah, I was just burning off the excess because there was a time when I wasn't short on that, but now I clearly need it. So let's go ahead and drop this graphene in there so that that is available. And I actually, interestingly enough, I have a slot here where I could import proliferator paint. I'm just saying. So, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and get that imported. We don't need a ton of it. And I just need... Let's see. The fire ice, which is being brought... Yeah, see, here's the diamond coming in, but where's the fire ice? Am I losing my mind? Where's the fire ice coming from? Oh, it's... There's a vein inside the apparatus. I was looking for something coming in from the outside. It's literally staring me in the face. All right, everything's fine. Well, this is going to be easy. One of the easiest setups I've done in a while. Let's go ahead and bring the proliferator paint out to about there. All right, so that paint's going to arrive in a minute. And then, of course, that's going to apply to literally every single production facility here, which is great. Now, oddly enough... Man, this is nuts. Hang on, we've got to... I've got to go ahead and build an additional output here, because this is insane. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, I see what's happened here. This is actually not necessary. I'm going to delete it entirely. And then I'm going to remove that. And what that will hopefully do is start pulling more off the line. I mean, I would certainly hope so. I mean, an alternative even beyond that is to add... Yeah, let's do this. All right, so... Okay, I'm starting to see some spots open up here, which is good. What I want to see is this open up. Because some of these are just full of graphene, one way or the other. It might be that I need to use more pilers, which is hilarious. I mean, I think I've mostly solved the problem. Graphene is clearly in a much better position over the last minute. I mean, look at that. That's a huge increase. It's massive. Especially now that the proliferator paint has kicked in. You can clearly see that. Alright, so with that in place, I think that's solved the graphene problem, which means things can resume working normally on Gacrix Prime. But now let's head to Zeta Ra. Or I suppose it might be worth heading back to Gacrix Prime first, because we do need some of the items there in order to make more plane smelters. It just blows my mind that I don't have plane smelters already. I thought I built a bunch more, and now they're just gone. So I must have placed them all. Which is mind-blowing to me. It's just making me want to stare at my inventory until I find where they're hiding from me. Or maybe I stored them somewhere without realizing it, you know? Wow, this planet is moving away very fast. Okay, there we go. Now we're actually entering the atmosphere a bit. That was a little bit janky. Huh. Deuterium struggling a bit, huh? Wow, we're actually over on these? What in the world? Yeah, I guess just because of some of the things we've been short on. That makes sense. Alright, so things are generally doing quite well over here. Although we're still not producing a ton of carbon nanotubes. These are functioning again, which is good to see. That wasn't happening for a good while. Alright. Let's go down to the other pole, because that's where a lot of the relevant resources are being built. If we're going to make plane smelters, we need a couple of things. Yeah, so, yeah, we're once again making... we're not making that many. Yeah, what I need to do is bring proliferator paint down this way. What are you short on? Still short on graphene. Surely it's just because you're waiting on a shipment, right? That's gotta be why. It can't... Yeah. Why is it... That's 7,200 graphene. Why is it taking so long? That's what I want to know. Do I not have warpers set up on Gacrix 5? Are they bringing it in manually? Or is it just coming in that slowly? Alright, so graphene is clearly coming in a little bit more quickly now. Not a lot, but a little. Alright. Alright. Well, might be time to proliferate, but first, let's stand over here and grab a bunch of these off the line. You know how it goes. We've only done this 20 million times in the entire series. What's 1 million more? Let's see. And then I need some frame materials, which I have a few of them, but I need more. I need more. Alright, so we've got frame materials here. I'm going to go ahead and just grab like 200 off the line. And there we go. And of course, it's plane filters that I'm short on. Of course it is. What else would it be? Hang on. I need to come here. This is the optimum spot to grab them from. This is where I was standing before. So let's just grab as many as I possibly can. Ah, and now I'm out of unipolar magnets. That is going to be a little bit more effortful to replace. So let's do a couple of things real quick. So we have proliferator paint that's being brought up here. And let's take a quick look at what is already being proliferated. Everything here that needs it anyway. So what I need to do is, this is where the line is currently ending. I need to bring this proliferator paint down. Yeah, processor's being proliferated as well. Yeah, I really need to get those exported. I'm surprised they're not already being exported properly, given how many I have. I've got 12,000. It just makes me want to make a trip to Alrami. Also, we still don't have a lot of graphene coming in large quantities here. And I'm at a loss as to why. Is it just the sheer amount being consumed? You would think with the sources for graphene that we'd set up, and the fact that we have some on Alpha Andromeda, that this wouldn't be an issue. And yet, here we are. Okay, well anyway, let's go ahead. We'll revisit that as needed, but I'm going to let the problem hopefully continue to self-correct, given the stuff that I just set up. So why don't we... Yeah, right about here. Done. Alright, so now we're talking. We've got some paint getting a lot closer to items being produced here, which generally need to be proliferated. That is terrible placement. Do you see why? I don't even care. I don't even care. Here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to put a splitter down. And we'll let that be the end of it. Oh my god. Alright. There's that. There we go. Alright, so those are being proliferated now, which is a big deal, because now everything here can actually start using the extra products rules. I mean, I think. Hang on. Is it because you're still using some Casimir crystals that you had previously? Alright, good. Proliferated stuff is starting to show up. need more proliferated stuff to show up, though. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right, starting to work. So there's that. In addition to that, let's see. Yeah, these need to be proliferated here. Now this is a little bit less obnoxious. I just need to move these slightly. Ever so slightly. Not a huge change. Excuse me? Colliding with what object exactly? Oh, you bastard. It's the sorter. Alright. You bastard. I really could have used better news than that. Maybe if I place you and then try that way. No? No, you're not gonna be nice to me? Alright, we'll tell you what, let's just be extra janky about it. How about that? Let's just be a level of jank that is less necessary than any other janky thing I've done in this entire series. Wait, why are there so many of that? Why is that piling up? I mean, I'm happy about it. Oh, because we're out of processors again. Oh, yeah, I know. Zeta Ra, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, and I'll be over there. First things first. All right, so we've set that up. That is so janky. All right, let's go ahead, and now we'll need to... Right. There we go. Alright, well that's not going to work. Why won't that work? Why exactly will that not work? I demand an explanation. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be that dramatic about it, but... Oh, okay. I see what I need to do. I kind of hate it. Oh, wait. Aha, there we go. That's better. That's honestly better. Okay, processors. As they arrive. Yeah, we need more, though. We clearly need more. And I have the math done for how many more I need. And I think I probably have the facilities that I need. Probably. So let's head to Zeta Ra and just get this done. Because we need to get the proliferator paint set up as well. Also, before I go anywhere, it is probably worth doing to take a look at this one more time. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this is good news. So since so many frames have finished, there's not going to be as much rocket launching happening. Which means, as we saw last time, there'll be an opportunity for certain production chains to catch up. Can't ever complain about that. All right, so that's a good amount of progress. And you can tell that like a huge amount of effort is going in from these rockets to finish just a few frames up here. So yeah, that was done now too. That's how fast it's happening. Other frames are literally being completed as I speak. Okay. Zeta Ra, my good friend. My good and troublesome friend. There you are. Didn't see you for a minute there. So let's head to Zeta Ra. I have to admit, this last research is taking longer than anticipated. The final Dyson frame expansion. It's an important one, because it's what allows us to actually close up the entire thing. It's that last little sphere. But once it's done, We'll just be doing a bunch of auxiliary research to make things further efficient as we wrap up the construction of the sphere. It's been quite the journey. As it always is. And I'm glad to have had you along for the ride. It's actually pretty cool. I've been seeing it's a smaller audience for sure than the other stuff that I have on the channel, but I've talked about this many times while the series has been ongoing. Like, this has just been sort of a passion project, like a game that I want to play just for the sake of enjoying it. Now, is it Zeta Ra 1? Yeah, it's Zeta Ra 1. It's a volcanic ash planet. It's been a passion project. It's not really been a series that I've been doing in order to grow the channel per se. Like, this is a series that I started pretty early on after the channel's return, simply because I wanted to play a new game on the channel and not care too much about, like, incorporating it perfectly. I just wanted to enjoy it and learn as I went. And there have been a number of people that have come in and, like, just shown a lot of enthusiasm for the series. And they've been, you know, continuing to show up at the beginning of the series and moving through. And I've really enjoyed interacting with y'all in the comments. Okay, so it seems like silicon is an actual input problem. So that's part of the situation here. So you can tell that we clearly don't have a lot coming down the line. Although I think that... Oh, hello. There's a pretty good chance... Yeah, I actually have plenty here, which is not surprising. Is this... Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Okay, no. That's actually an output. That's what I thought. So that's an output, and this is an output. So we already have two outputs. Where are you going? Oh, yes, that's right. You're going up here for the production of additional processors, which it's mind-blowing that after I built this, we're still having issues. So what's the deal, guys? Do I just need to proliferate you? Like, I literally built this so this wouldn't be an issue anymore. It's so beautiful. This concentric design. And you're still giving me problems. Why? Why? Why you do this? There's just not enough silicon to go around. So first things first, we've got to proliferate this stuff. We've got to proliferate everything. Because I need to see how things look with that situation changed. So here's our spot. Let's remote demand that. And it looks like... Damn it. Not even producing enough for it to import just yet. It'll get here eventually because we're not consuming it fast enough. But right now, there is nowhere to bring it. So... in the meantime, of course I need microcrystalline components for this next piece. Alright, tell you what, let's go ahead and just offload some stuff here. Oh, nice. That's actually everything I needed. Perfect. So now I've got some new proliferator painters being produced. Is there any proliferation paint actually coming? No. Okay. Need to figure out what it is about that apparatus that is not producing enough of an excess. Wait a minute. That's so weird. I don't know if it's just the hum from the back. Like, I was genuinely freaking out for a second there, because you know how I am about the music of this game, right? the beginning of this track, this is obviously classic Dyson Sphere music. This track's been in the game for a long time. But because of, I think, some of the background ambience, I actually had to check my headset just now to be like, wait, is the audio line completely plugged in? Am I only getting a portion of the left and right audio? Because it just sounded like nothing that I'd ever heard before for a second. All right, so we do now have proliferator paint on the way, slowly but surely, which I imagined would happen. I was kind of wanting to see if that would automatically occur. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it out here. And then we can just kind of do this. Actually, yeah, that's going to work perfectly. You know, what I'm doing right now, I've never actually done before. But I'm so happy that it works. Can I rotate you? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it doesn't work perfectly. We're going to have to do a little bit of finagling here to really get this to function, but it's a huge step in the right direction here, so hold on. Let me just do a little bit of finagling. Not a lot, but a little. Alright, so all three of these should be going like this. Alright, this is a copper input line actually, so I don't need to worry about having anything there. I just don't want to make sure there's proliferator paint coming in here. This is kind of an important line. I don't want to hold it up. Alright, so we're proliferating processors as they leave there. Not really necessary, but still. There it is. Jerk. I'm not even going to need that in a minute. Watch. Because I'm going to be able to do this. And there's some proliferated silicon, so that's going to be useful. Now let's rebuild that I didn't need to delete in the first place, technically. Okay, so there's that. That's like the very beginning of things. But there's more that needs to be done. Yeah, this is a copper export line, so... Yep. Oh, it's flawless. Doesn't get better. Bingo. Alright, now we just make sure that everything is powered. Alright, so now all of the silicon coming in is being painted, which in theory should help. Let's make sure everything here is painted. No, not everything here is painted. Why? It's because we haven't painted it yet. That could be a very, very plausible explanation. I'm just saying. Yep. And now I just need to bring... Let's see, what are you lined up with? Got it. So this is going to proliferate everything at my new station up there, with the exception of the secondary goods, which I still have to go up there and send some paint to. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that now. And then I've got to make sure I'm doing the same thing for the existing processor production apparatus. Okay, and with that done, all right, so yeah, this definitely needs to be proliferated right there, without question. So we have processors coming out as the end product here. Those don't need to be proliferated, that's fine. But everything coming across here would probably benefit from some proliferation. Probably. Let's go ahead and place those. Oh, I see. Not sure why it's being so finicky, but there we go. There, now those two are not going to register as too close. So now everything that passes through those is painted. And I think... Okay, this is tough, because since I have this set up on a loop, some things are going to be painted and some things aren't. You can see that all of the input resources coming through are absolutely painted because they're coming in that way. So that's going to help with processor production. As a matter of fact, we can probably go ahead, if we look at this, if we look at the last 10 minutes. So, yeah, so there's a definite increase. It's up to 990-ish just over the last few minutes, and that's just from the work that I've done so far up here. So I'm not even fully, like, we're not even done yet. So what's the best way to do this? Yeah, the way I have this set up, this is not proliferator friendly, unfortunately. But I do see something that I can do here. So let's go ahead and... Alright, so, again, there are going to be a lot of items on this track here that are not properly proliferated, but now that's everything. So a lot of items that go through here are going to be proliferated, including the processors. So, let's let that magic work. Are we 39 minutes into this episode? Holy crap. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to stop this one here, but in the next one... I am going to spend a little bit more time at this existing section here, and I'm going to actually implement, some of the stuff that I figured out in terms of making sure the facility counts match. One of the reasons I didn't do that right away is it's very clear that, like, we also just aren't getting enough silicon down the line, unfortunately. So that continues to be a bit of an issue, and I might have to figure out something that I can do with that. Okay, hang on. I've just discovered one of the problems. We actually don't have silicon being actively mined on this planet anymore. So, hold on. Before I end the episode, let's do a couple of things. First of all, I can dismantle these and regain the facilities. This is actually good, because it frees up an extra means of distribution that I have at my disposal. Let me make sure that that deleted everything. It did not, because that's a massive line. Just sort of deleting this in chunks. Yeah, so that, what we kind of knew for a long time was going to come to pass, has come to pass. Let me go ahead and delete those arches as well. They're not needed. Okay, well, since we now know... Yeah, that's useful. Oh, this actually, yeah, hang on. This is getting... It's looking easier and easier here. Because what I can do is I can get an additional line set up here. Because this is backed up. This one here is fully backed up. So what I can do is get another line going here alongside this one. And it's at the right distance to where I could have all of them pulling from two different lines. And that might help me increase silicon production, which in turn will help me increase processor production. And I might not need to actually build the additional structures that I had planned on. But, again, we're 42 minutes in, so I'm going to stop this one here. And in the next one, I will hopefully solve this processor problem once and for all. Huh, yeah, fat chance, right? But one can dream. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon US Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.